The 12th Annual Acquisition Research Symposium brings together some of the top movers and shakers of the defense acquisition world. Among the attendees were representatives from universities, think tanks, institutes, Fortune 500 companies, and various levels of military and government agencies. Federal budget cuts are a hot-button issue here, with good reason. The Defense Department faces a good deal of scrutiny due to multiple cost overruns. Some projects excessively over budget and years behind schedule during a time of fiscal insecurity. Preparing future decision makers to solve these kinds of dilemmas is the focus of the Acquisition Research Program at NPS. We speak to its chair, retired Rear Admiral James Greene.
The acquisition process is one of evolution, not revolution. As Secretary Kendall pointed out in his remarks, we don't need acquisition reform. What we need is a continued systematic evolution of that process. Most symposium or conferences you go to have a very large trade show component to it. This is not the case with our symposium. This is a meeting of the practitioners and the scholars in defense acquisition, and it provides them an opportunity to get together to talk about the direction of the department. With the great keynote speakers we had, Secretary Kendall and Secretary Stackley from the Navy really took the opportunity to let their workforce know what their challenges and issues were and what we might be thinking about to help them deal with those challenges. It's a great opportunity for our students and faculty here to meet the most senior ranking people in the Department of Defense that buy all our weapon systems for the department. That is a unique opportunity. The NPS students here, and they represent all services, are the acquisition workforce of the future.
It was kind of funny. I was reading a couple articles about ship multi-option contracts, and at some point on range ship multi-option contracts.
As a critical part of the research program, we have students do a capstone project, whether it's a thesis or an MBA project. So we provide an opportunity for them to use the resources of the Acquisition Research Program to conduct travel, to conduct interviews, to have interviews transcribed, really to support their entire capstone research project for efforts dealing with acquisition research. So we have students going off to some of the systems commands, some of the contracting commands, some of the program offices, as well as back to DC to interview experts, to interview policymakers, to review contract files, to review program files, and basically collect data to support their research in the program. Hopefully that will satisfy at least a couple of requirements that will allow them to do a worthwhile capstone project in satisfaction of their graduation requirements, but then it also produces, we hope, a useful product for decision makers and policy makers going forward.
Jatan and I are both contracting majors, so this program really helped out a lot with being able to do our thesis work, getting travel dollars and whatnot. So, and we're both going to contracting billets after this. So. Without this experience, we would have gone there knowing nothing. We're both pretty confident we're going to know what we do when we get there, even though it's going to be a lot of on-the-job training.
Seeing the whole picture of where the program starts from the end users to how it gets built up and then how it gets delivered to the end user, it's really interesting. And we learned a lot. The school has a really wealth of knowledge in terms of professors, teaching us, giving us the right guidelines so we can succeed in our career.
The type of project that is most impactful is when students from different curricula partner on a topic of interest. So for example, if we have a student from the program management curriculum pairing with a student from the financial management curriculum, along with a student from the contract management curriculum, they're able to attack a research problem from different perspectives and using the skills that they have obtained from their courses.
We're going to assess the offshore patrol cutter for the United States Coast Guard. Specifically, we're going to look at lessons learned from other cutter studies that we've had, the National Security Cutter and the Fast Response Cutter, and take those lessons learned and analyze how those impacted the acquisition strategy for the offshore patrol cutter and how they contribute to the overall affordability of that program. The symposium is a great opportunity for us students here at NPS to get some of the industry leaders and some academic leaders to talk about acquisitions and kind of give us a little bit broader picture of our trade. And it's been really interesting to see the different methodologies across the board in program management and acquisition policy making. But this is a great opportunity. There's a lot of symposium panels that have been happening, and it's a great opportunity for us students to come here and learn some real application of some of those trade items.
Being able to talk to a lot of Navy personnel and Marines and Air Force from different services, getting joint perspective on things. I've learned a lot about the importance of communication. We have a lot of processes in place, we have organizations in place, but it's important to communicate to facilitate these processes. So just getting to communicate with different organizations, getting to listen to professors who've been out there doing these types of research was extremely helpful to me, and just getting exposure to a lot of the different tools that are used in the systems engineering program was very helpful as well.
Critical thinking skills is the core of what we do here in any of our curricula here at NPS. The amount of research that we've done over the last 14 or 15 years of the Acquisition Research Program has really provided a knowledge base for our policymakers to look at so that they would have something to go to rather than just a hint that something might work or not work, and to put some meat on the bone so they don't make some of the same mistakes that have been made in the past. In our Acquisition Research Program, we are able to capture that knowledge. We are able to impart that knowledge to our students, who will be the workforce of the future, and it'll be up to them to continue to evolve the acquisition process so that we get the most bang for the buck and make the best use of our taxpayers' money.